17 minutes past 8 this morning here on OTB AM. As I said, we'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment in the YouTube stream. We read all those, or of course you can always get us on WhatsApp 0879 180 180. And just a reminder, Tommy was talking there, James O'Donoghue and Paddy Andrews are back with episode 2 of the new season of the Football Pod. It's available wherever you get your podcast. The best place to get it is actually the OTB Sports app. You can set it to automatic download when you're on Wi-Fi, so it won't impact your data plan, and it'll be ready for you there whenever you need it as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on if we have some time. But now, the Allianz Hurling Leagues officially launched today. It's the 30th season that Allianz has sponsored the competition, making it one of the longest sponsorships in Irish sport, indeed one of the longest sponsorships in world sport at this point. And I'm delighted to say, as part of the launch, Tipperary goalkeeper Brian Hogan is with us. Brian, good morning to you. How are you getting on?
Morning, how are you getting on?
Yeah,
Thanks
good.
for having me.
Look, we were going to talk about the start of the league and the importance of the league and how quickly the league rolls into championship and all that kind of stuff, but a massive bombshell yesterday from the hurling world's perspective. I suspect you guys might have known about this maybe a little bit before, but Padraic Maher won't be with you this season. He's been forced to retire on medical grounds. What was it like hurling with Paddy?
Look, yeah, it was a huge shock. It was all, we found out yesterday morning as well.
Right.
It was a huge shock because we were expecting him to come back, But hurling with Paddy, it was an unbelievable experience because he was some leader, on the pitch, off the pitch, he drove us all on, and just even looking at him off the pitch when he was training, the way he trained, the way he was in the gym, the work he did, his nutrition and everything, he was someone that you just had to look up to and inspire to, and, as a goalkeeper, having him there in the back line, he gave a huge confidence because the presence he gave there, it was unbelievable to have him there for the last couple of years. Iconic stuff, really, Paddy was.
Yeah, like from the moment he arrived, it was almost as if he was always supposed to be there. It felt like here's somebody, but definitely like his introduction was so spectacular. That group that he came in on, that under-21 team that he came in on that won the All-Ireland, before they won the under-21 All-Ireland. Like, it's a sensational achievement when you think about it. For him to be able to back up the level of expectation that we all had because he was so good that first season, that's remarkable because most people aren't actually able to live up to the hype.
No, he was just so consistent every single year. The consistency, the way he was, the injury prevention, played every single game since 2009. It's absolute some going, and remember, I was doing water in that All-Ireland 2010. I was water boy. And, watching him play there against Galway and under-21 All-Ireland, with all the rest of them lads are on it, the likes of Bonner and Noah McGrath, it was unbelievable to look up to, and probably, would have gave me inspiration, to try and get on a Tipperary team to play with the likes of him, because it is unbelievable the consistency he gave every single year in, year out, every game, it was just the passion he gave to that blue and gold jersey was unbelievable, and fair play to him. He left no stone unturned. So he can go out with his head held high. Because it was class to watch.
And Brian, we've seen as well, obviously, him without the hurley a hell of a lot of times. We've seen him blocking the ball with his hands. We've seen the 2016 shoulder on Joe Canning. What was he like in training? Would he tame it a bit for training, or would he be very much like that still?
No, absolutely not. He trained the way he played. Every single run that he did, he done it to the best of his ability. And would be always driving everyone else on in training. When it comes to the runs, he'd be up the front of the runs. Making sure everyone was keeping up with in training. He was getting in hooks and blocks and putting his body in the line. Or more time the boys be coming in, taking shots, and you're expecting to try and make a save or get your body. But he was the one that was putting his body in the way of the ball. So it was unbelievable to have him in front. Yeah, in a full back line or half back line, wherever he was. But no, he definitely trained the way he played.
I didn't realise he'd been a water boy in that team in the under-21s in 2010. That must have been fairly sensational for you as a kid. Coming from the family background that you come from, there's always an expectation, and you've seen that it's possible to reach the high heights. But that week is like a magical week, I suspect, in Tipperary hurling history.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I was only 13 at the time, and I remember watching the All-Ireland I was in the Hill 16 in 2010, watching on, looking at the lads do the business, and then like would have been at training then during the week, on the Tuesday and Friday before they played the under 21 All Ireland, and them lads were they took no break. They were there training away, getting ready to try and win another All Ireland in the space of 6 or 7 days, so Jenny Mackey it was unbelievable to watch, and just gave me huge inspiration going forward, to try and hit to the heights that some of to them lads got to that year.
And the knock-on impact to everybody your age as well, and like it's funny because we've seen a changing of the guard in many respects in a lot of teams, particularly in hurling. There's kind of seems to be a cut-off point where the early 30s is actually getting to a point where it's much harder for people to keep going at inter-county level because of all the demands, the physicality and the nutrition and the strength and conditioning and all that kind of stuff that is required these days. So your age group and your cohort of players are kind of the leadership group, or certainly coming into that stage of being the leadership group in Tipperary. Are you all ready for it? Do you feel that as well?
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of us, a few boys just a year older than me, the likes of Rowan Maher and Barry Heffernan and these Seamus Kennedy and these lads, of course these lads are seriously experienced players. They've been there and done that in 2016 and 2019. Have been leaders of the team even then. And every player on the panel, it doesn't matter who you are. You're expected to be a leader, and you have everyone gives you that confidence to be a leader on the team. So. It doesn't matter what if you don't talk in the dressing room, or you do the business out on the training pitch or out on the field when you get to play. Like you give that leadership with the way you play and the actions you give, in terms of everything you do, in terms of the way you train, in terms of the nutrition, whatever you have to do to get it done. That's leadership. And just talking to a lad when he's in the dressing room before training. Giving them a G up, whatever you have to do, like little small things like that. Doesn't have to be anything major, and that's leadership in many ways, So no, there's plenty of the men in that dressing room, so there's no fear of that. And even lads that are coming up, from under 20, under 21, the lads that have had success in the last couple of years, they're coming in and they're biting at the bit, try and get into that team and drive everyone else on and try and improve, So. No, there's a serious amount of leaders, in that Tipperary dressing room. So, and from the likes of Paulie, he would have brought that experience and gave us all confidence, and so he's given us all that kind of stuff. So there's no fear of any of that in the dressing room.
And that's something that you'll probably miss big time now with Paddy gone, that leadership, because everybody's talking at the moment of everything he's done on the pitch, but I can only imagine what he would have been like maybe before going out to games, how he sort of motivated and got you ready to go out. He seems that type of person.
Yeah, but like Paddy, of course, yeah, he'd be a big leader in dressing room and was able to talk and tell us, I'd be sitting near him in the dressing room, and he'd be always come up to you, and give you, a fist or, and come up and say, look, Hoagie, you're the man, the goals, whatever, and talk to you and give you a good G up, So, no, Paddy was brilliant at all that, and he was fantastic to have in the dressing room, and I was delighted to have had the pleasure of playing with him for as many years as I did, and no, look, he was class in dressing room, class on the pitch, and was always there when anyone needed him. To give us a G up, and would always tell us to keep our heads up and keep going at any stage.
What kind of a winter was it for you after the Limerick game?
Yeah, look, I suppose the first half against Limerick in the Munster final, it was unbelievable to be 10 points up. It was obviously very disappointing to lost that game after, and it was hard defeat to take. But over the winter, like talking to boys, everyone is mad to go and have another bite at it. It's another year, clean slate. We drive on, train as hard as we can and see where it takes us. It's about enjoying our hurling. Just in going out and expressing ourselves, and in the Alliance League, that's what we hope to do. Try and find out something new about ourselves as players, and then try and find out something new as us as a team. That's what the Alliance League is there for. To try new things, build that confidence, build a bit of momentum before heading into championship. And look, we're going to do our best as we can, and it's exciting. Everyone's relishing the new year and looking forward to getting back to the stadiums and going back into with big crowds and stuff like that. It'd be very exciting to get that back, because we're missing that last couple of years. Having the crowds in the stadium, having the tip fans in there. Bring that energy that they do every year. So very exciting. Everyone's really, really looking forward to it, and personally can't wait for it to come around.
Was the post-mortem long about what happened in the game, the difference between the first half and the second half? Did you come to any conclusions about what happened in the second half?
No, look, it was disappointing what happened, but no, we couldn't have really any post-mortem because we had to go and play Waterford, in a couple of days or the week after that. So look, it's just one of those things. Losing to Limerick was disappointing, but you can't linger on it too long. We have to keep going, and defeats happen. Limerick are obviously a very good team at the moment, and they're the team that are really pushing standards for everyone in the country, and it's up to I suppose to try to get up to that standard. And this year we're going to try to do that and get up, and we'll do that with the games coming up next couple of weeks, and try to build that confidence, and we'll go again. There's no fear of that.
And Brian, just for you as a goalkeeper, we know your dad, obviously Ken Hogan, a two-time All-Ireland winning goalkeeper as well. I'm sure that you have many conversations probably about how it's evolved so much, say from how he played in goals to how you would now play. What are the main differences, do you think?
Yeah, well, Joe Ken would always say to me, back when he was hurling, if you ask Babs, where to hit where does he want me to hit the puck out, or whatever, he said just drive it as long as you can, Hogan. That's what he would have said to him. It's a completely different game now. These days, you have to try and hit different puck outs, hit him short, hit him halfway, hit him into the lad's hand. It's all about possession, trying to hold on to that possession, the ball, and work the ball up the pitch. It's a completely different game. So puck outs will be a huge difference, and suppose there's a lot more to the goalkeeping. They're in play a lot more. You're trying to go on ball. If there's a cornerback or fullback that are in trouble, you need to be ready to get that ball and try and work the ball up from a different angle or something like that. So yeah, of course it's different, but there's still the same things apply. You still have to look after your goalkeeping. Make sure that you're not conceding any goals or anything like that, and communicating to your back. So obviously there's still a lot of the same things, from when Ken was playing to when I was playing, and we'd always talk about that, having the basics right and doing the simple things to the best of your ability. That's the most important thing. The most important thing is that you're first things first is looking after the nets and making sure you're doing the job, and everything else after that follows. So we'd always talk about that and saying simple things first, and then everything else worry about that after.
Gone are the days definitely when you'd come to training and say that you'd look on at goalkeepers thinking that they don't have to do the runs, everything else, but really the goalkeeper a lot of the time can be there sometimes an hour before training.
Yeah, definitely. Myself and Barry, we'd be out trying to get out as early as we can, to hit a few puck outs. Tommy Dunn would be doing great work. We'd be going out, hitting puck outs, trying different angles, trying to improve as much as we can, trying to be consistent with hitting the same puck out over and over again. And we definitely train as hard as all the other lads. We do all the running the same way, do all the tackling drills, all the possession games, everything. We get involved in all that. So yeah, we're under no illusions. You have to be as fit as every other player on the team. If you want to play inter-county levels. So no, definitely try to go early, and even sometimes after training you might be staying on for a couple of minutes. Some lads might want you to stay on and hit a few balls out, and if they're taking 2 shots, or they want to work on different types of puck outs. So you're probably the the first man coming into dressing room, and he could be one of the last lads leaving. That's the whole part of it. I really enjoyed that part of it. Love getting out to the pitch early. Love staying out there and doing a bit more. Because that's the whole thing. That why we play hurling. We enjoy it, and we love getting out there, playing with your mates and playing with your colleagues. So no, it's fantastic, and I love every minute of it.
You're into Captain America. Obviously, he's behind you there and over your right shoulder.
Oh yeah. No, I'm actually in my brother's room here. He's an artist. He's a comic book artist. So he's actually working out in Finland. So he has loads of murals on the wall here. I actually look at Spider-Man and I have Star Wars up in front of me. So he's unbelievable at the artwork. So no, I'm using his room here because he has a lovely desk to do his artwork here. So no, that's why them murals are on the walls.
How old is he? They're great.
Sorry?
How old is he? Is that his day job?
That's his day job. Yeah, he's about 28. Yeah, so. He absolutely loves that. He would have went to art college up in Dunleary, and he was working out in Denmark, in Copenhagen. He's worked in Finland, in Helsinki. I think he's back in Copenhagen now, working there. He's unbelievable. He's released a couple of comic books himself, and has worked with a good few companies. I think down in Kilkenny as well, with Cartoon Saloon. So no, he's unbelievable. He uses his hands and wrists for a different thing to me, but and he was a very good hurler back in his day. He doesn't hurl anymore now, but he loves going to the matches and stuff like that. But he obviously can't play hurling with because he has to mind hands for the artwork. But
fair enough.
He's brilliant at it.
Right, you're a sickeningly talented family. That's listen, we wish you the best of luck with this year. Thanks a million for joining us, Brian. Cheers.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks, Ashton.
It's Brian Hogan there giving us his thoughts on the start of the league season. Ash, I'm always whenever Kenny Cunningham is in, we always slag him about the fact that he is right there in the background for Paolo Di Canio's goal, I think maybe Tony Yeboah's goal, and a few other ones as well. The Tipperary hurlers last year were on the field when we saw the greatest half an hour of 35 minutes of hurling that maybe we've ever seen with Limerick in the second half in the Munster final, and I'm sure that there were more intense conversations than Brian is letting on there. And I'm sure they don't really want to be in the highlight reels, but they're stuck with it because, what Kyle Hayes in particular did that day and what a few of the other lads did that day, that's going to live forever.
And that was the changing moment for them that year. I think when you have those type of moments, it can sort of push you on as a team. We've seen it with Tyrone and Kerry in the league. They had their moments where they were down by, 6 goals they had conceded. So, yeah, to have those moments, I think, are crucial to push you on and to see what they've done in the end, and I think they're going to be a tough team to stop now going forward.
Yeah, Kenny doesn't like us bringing up the fact that he's on the field when all those great things were happening. It's like, for him, it's not. It was David Beckham from the halfway line was the other one.